Hey there, Indie Witches. This is Chloé Caroline. Thank you for interviewing me. I'm excited to be here. Anyways, so to answer your first question, I began my start in music when I was really little. Before I could even talk, I was singing. I would always sing myself to sleep at night, but my dad was in a rock band, and that's why he moved to California, where I was born and raised, and he just kind of played music all the time. He was always making up songs. He was always playing different types of music, a lot of old school music, a lot of 60s, 70s music, and I picked up the piano when I was 6. That's when I wrote my first song, and after that, I did the church choir for a little bit, and then I did high school choir and taught myself guitar when I was 11, and that's when I guess became serious about writing songs. And the rest is history. My process with songwriting, when creating a new song, it kind of differs all the time. Like I said, I first started writing by myself at a really young age, and at that point it kind of just, I guess the lyrics and the melody would always kind of go hand in hand. I would just kind of start messing around with an idea on the guitar or the piano, or just sometimes I'd have a melody in my head and would just start singing it, and then lyrics would kind of trickle out. But usually I was inspired by something I'd been through, especially when I had, of course, had my first heartbreak and all of that. But a lot of times I was writing stuff that I hadn't even been through yet, just life experience. It started with me writing poetry, actually, in a notebook after going through a really terrible illness when I was 11 years old, and kind of spun from there. And now I write by myself, and I also co-write, so I'll write with another songwriter or another producer or both, and usually one of us will come in with a title or some sort of concept, or sometimes just a melody on a voice memo on our phones, and we'll play it for the rest of the people, and then we'll kind of begin starting. But it kind of differs. Sometimes we start with absolutely nothing, and it kind of just snowballs from a conversation that we'll have. Usually we'll kind of have a therapy session of sorts and start talking about what everybody's kind of going through in the room, and then something will begin from there. But it all differs. For me, I'm a huge melody person. I really need to have a solid melody for me to be excited about the song. And then on the other hand, I'm a lyrics stickler. So for me, lyrics are extremely important, and they really have to convey a powerful message or a feeling, at least. Whether it does not always have to be sad or deep necessarily, but it has to evoke an emotion in me as an artist if I'm going to be singing it. So I'm very picky about the lyrics that I use. And most recently, I've been getting into the production side of things, not necessarily physically producing things, but getting into understanding more as a co-producer, and kind of sitting in a room with another producer all day maybe, and kind of tossing out different ideas, really trying to figure out exactly what I want for this particular song, what vibe I want, what inspiration I want. Hey, let's try this. Like the other day I had a song and I was like, let's try birds in this one section, or let's try a drum, like a bass that kind of is reminiscent of Jackson 5 or something, if that was fitting. But I kind of like messing with all of that stuff, and I've gotten to learn within the last couple years what it's like to really co-produce something and sit in a room with a producer and really get invested in what the track sounds like, every little aspect of the track, all the way down to the loops, to the weird noises, random little sounds you'll hear, especially with pop music. So it's gotten really fun, and Yeah. I would say help each other out. Support each other, promote each other. And I write with a lot of guys, but I also write with a lot of girls too. And most recently, I've been writing a lot with female producers, which is pretty cool. I do think there is something different about writing with a girl. I think there's just a different understanding of things from girl to girl. But I would say just remember to lift each other up because you're all going up there together, and I think it creates a stronger message. And as hard as it is to be a female in the music industry, you need to have other girls alongside you, and you'd assume that was always the case, but it's not. Girls get catty, people get competitive, and kind of forget why they're doing this in the first place, which should always be, for everybody it's very different, but for me at least, it's, I do music because I want other people to relate to it. I want nobody to feel alone, and I do it as a form of self-expression, and everybody does that their own way, and so there's no reason to be catty or competitive. We can all do this thing together. So I'd say just reach out to girls, other girls doing the same thing as you, help them out, make connections for each other, even if it has nothing to do with your career. I think that it all comes back around. So I would say lift each other up. One of my favorite venues has got to be, I would say, the Bluebird, just because it's such an iconic venue and it's like very personal. Obviously it's here in Nashville, and it's so fun because people come from all over the world to come hear you play like 3 songs. So I love that venue. I love Hotel Cafe. I got to play there a couple years ago. Very similar vibe, very personal. I love playing in stages like that, just because you really have a connection with the audience, and it's vibey. So I'd say those are my 2 favorites. I am currently listening to a lot of different people, but I'll do like past and present. So as far as past artists, I've been on a Prince funk for a while. I love Prince. So I've been listening to like a lot of like just everything. He has so many songs. It's like ridiculous. Obviously people know like the super famous ones, but he just has so many songs, and so many songs he's co-written, and he's just a musical genius. So a lot of Prince inspiration recently. And then present, I've been listening to a lot of King Princess. She's great. Billie Eilish. Fletcher is another great artist. Who else? Those are 3 female, kind of like on the rise pop girls, I guess. Casey Musgraves. Always been a big fan. All these girls, wow. And as far as dudes, I feel like I need to like open my Spotify right now. Just like, might as well, right? Oh, and Lennon Stella. She's great too. So I would say those are the girls, at least, I've been listening to. Yes. So I have a bunch of different shows this month, which is May. Well, it's about to be May. It's April 30th where I am. So, let's see. I have a show on May 14th, on May 15th, and on May 16th. These are all Tennessee shows. I'm opening for former American Idol Lee DeWise. So the 14th is in Knoxville, the 15th is in Franklin, Tennessee, and the 16th is in Memphis. So these are 3 shows that are going to be super fun. If you go to my website, ChloéCaroline.com, it has all the information where you can get tickets, all of that good stuff, and I will have more shows to come, but those are the most current ones. And the best place to follow me would be on my Instagram. I'm Chloé Caroline, so it's I, the letter M, and then my name, Chloé Caroline. And then same with my Twitter. And then my YouTube is youtube.com/ChloéCarolineMusic. And like I said, my website, ChloéCaroline.com. You can also text me. So if you go to my Instagram, my phone number is in my bio there. It's also on my website. You can text me. We can stay in contact. I always I personally text my fans, and I'll always let you know first when I have a release, when I have a new video, when I have anything that's cool, updates on merch, all that stuff. Shows, if you're in a certain area, I'll send you happy birthday, that sort of stuff. So you can definitely text me, and my phone number is 615-492-2688, and you gotta put a 1 in front of it for you international people. But yeah. Alright, once again, my name's Chloé Caroline. Thank you for having me.